Dollar hegemony, the hidden architecture of global economic power. Dollar hegemony refers to the dominant role of the United States dollar in global finance, trade, and international reserves. It is one of the most structural advantages held by any nations in modern history. Unlike traditional empires that relied on territorial conquest and visible control, dollar dominance operates through financial systems, institutional trust, and global coordination mechanisms. The US dollar is not simply a national currency, it functions as the central instrument through which global trade is invoiced, international debts are issued, and foreign exchange reserves are stored. This structural position allows the United States to exert influence far beyond its geographical boundaries. Understanding dollar hegemony is therefore essential for understanding how economic power operates in the modern international system. What is dollar hegemony? Dollar hegemony refers to the dominant position of the US dollar within the global financial architecture. A reserve currency is a currency widely held by central banks and financial institutions as a part of foreign exchange reserves. Because the dollar is widely trusted and accepted, countries use it for international transactions, commodity pricing, and financial contracts. Many countries prefer holding dollar reserves because they provide stability and liquidity during economic uncertainties. The widespread use of dollar creates self-reinforcing cycle in which global actors continue using the dollar because others are also using it. This produces network effects that makes it difficult for alternative currencies to displace the dollar. Historical evolution of dollar dominance. Before the rise of the US dollar, the British pound sterling dominated international trade and finance. Before the rise of the US dollar, the British pound sterling dominated international trade and finance. Britain's colonial network, naval power, and industrial leadership supported the pound's global status. However, World War I and World War II significantly weakened Britain's financial position. The United States emerged as the largest creditor nation and the strongest industrial economy. In 1944, the Bretton Woods Agreement established the dollar as the central currency of the international monetary system. Under Bretton Woods, other currencies were pegged to the dollar and the dollar was convertible into gold. Even after the gold standard ended in 1971, the dollar retained its dominance due to institutional inertia and network effects. Role of reserve currency. A reserve currency is used by governments and financial institutions to store value and conduct international transactions. Countries maintain foreign exchange reserves to stabilize their currencies and ensure smooth trading operations. Because many global transactions are denominated in dollars, central banks hold large quantities of dollar assets. These reserves allow governments to intervene in foreign exchange markets and maintain financial stability during economic shocks. The role of the dollar as a reserve currency strengthens its global demand and reinforces its structural dominance. Network effects and systems lock-in. Network effects play a crucial role in sustaining dollar hegemony. The value of a currency increases as more participants adopt it. Because international business prefer predictable price mechanisms, many contracts are denominated in dollars. Financial institutions prefer using dollar-based instruments because markets are deep and liquid. Over time, this creates a systematic lock-in where switching to an alternative currency would impose significant coordination costs, even if another currency grows larger than the United States. Replacing the dollar would require restructuring decades of financial infrastructure. Exorbitant privilege. The term exorbitant privilege refers to the advantage enjoyed by the United States due to global demand for dollar denominated assets. Because international investors require safe and liquid financial instruments, US Treasury bonds are considered among the safest investments available. The structural demand allows the United States government to borrow money at lower interest rates compared to other countries. As a result, the United States can sustain larger fiscal deficits without facing immediate financial crisis. This privilege enables higher government spending, increased policy flexibility, and economic stability during downturns. Dollar in global trade. The dollar plays a central role in global trade invoicing. Commodities such as oil, natural gas, and metals are predominantly priced in dollars regardless of the nationality of buyers and sellers. This system is often referred to as the petrodollar system. Countries importing energy must acquire dollars to pay for these commodities, reinforcing global demand for the currency. Because global trade relies heavily on dollar settlement, businesses maintain dollar accounts to reduce transaction costs and currency risks. Financial market depth. The United States possesses the deepest and most liquid financial markets in the world. Investors value transparency, legal protection, and institutional reliability. US financial markets provide consistent regulatory frameworks and enforce property rights effectively. This institutional credibility encourages global investors to allocate capital into dollar denominated assets. Financial market depth is therefore a key pillar supporting dollar hegemony. Inflation transmission mechanisms. Because the dollar is widely used globally, changes in US monetary policy influences economic conditions in other countries. When the United States increases money supply, global dollar liquidity increases as well. Countries holding dollar reserves experience changes in purchasing power when inflation rises in the United States. Although the transmission is complex, the global role of dollar ensures that the US monetary decisions affect international price levels and financial conditions. Dollar and geopolitical power. Dollar dominance allows the United States to influence international economic relations through financial sanctions. Because global financial institutions rely on dollar clearing systems, exclusion from these systems can significantly restrict a country's economic activity. Financial sanctions have become an important instrument of geopolitical strategy. Control over financial infrastructure enhances the global influence of the United States in global affairs. Emerging challenges. Although the dollar remains dominant, some countries are attempting to reduce dependency on it. China has promoted international use of the yuan, and European institutions encourage euro-dominated transactions. BRICS nations have discussed alternative financial arrangements to reduce reliance on dollar-based payment systems. However, structural barriers limit rapid replacement of the dollar because alternative currencies. However, structural barriers limit rapid replacement of the dollar because alternative currencies lack comparable financial market depth and institutional trust. Slide 12. Role of stablecoins and digital finance. Slide content. Stablecoins backed by US Treasuries. Digital assets increase dollar demand. Technology reinforcing dominance. New form of financial infrastructure. Digital financial net technologies may strengthen rather than weaken dollar dominance. Stablecoins are digital tokens pegged to value of US fiat currency, most commonly the US dollar. Many stablecoin issuers hold reserves in US Treasury securities. As stablecoins become widely used for digital transactions, demand for dollar-backed assets increases. Technological innovation therefore interacts with institutional inertia to reinforce existing monetary hierarchies. Slide 13. Future of dollar hegemony. Slide content. Dominance likely to persist in medium term. Gradual diversification possible. Institutional credibility remains a key factor. Transition unlikely to be sudden. Currency dominance historically changes slowly because financial infrastructure evolves gradually. Although diversification trends exist, no alternative currency currently possesses the combination of institutional trust, financial market depth, and geopolitical backing required to replace the dollar. The future of dollar hegemony depends on fiscal discipline, institutional stability, and global economic coordination. Slide 14. Conclusion. Slide content. Dollar dominance shapes global economy. Financial architecture reflects power structure. Monetary influence affects geopolitics. Understanding dollar hegemony explains global hierarchy. Dollar hegemony represents a structural form of influence embedded within the international economic system. It enables the US dollar It enables the United States to finance deficits, shape global liquidity. It enables the United States to finance deficits, shape global liquidity conditions, and maintain strategic leverage through financial institutions. The persistence of dollar dominance demonstrates how economic institutions can produce durable power relations without visible territorial control. Understanding dollar hegemony, therefore, provides insight into a functioning of a modern global economy and the distribution of international influence. Thank you very much.